Hi, my name is Grace Sullivan, and I'm a student at Tacoma Community College. And today I want to talk to you about my favorite subject, which is microbiology, and specifically about the overuse of antibiotics in the world and how that can have a negative impact on human health. I think it's really important for the average person to have a grasp on the big picture of how antibiotics interact with the populations of microbes that live inside of us and on us. To help them make informed choices about when is an appropriate time to use antibiotics. When I think of bacterial growth, I think of the analogy of a jungle. A jungle is hot and rich and full of nutrients. It's also really fiercely competitive with all the different organisms that live in the jungle. Everybody wants to fill up the space or eat each other, or it's sort of a life and death struggle in there. So with the jungle analogy, let's say we have a jungle full of bugs and trees and vines and frogs and monkeys, and everything is fighting each other for those resources. But all the different populations are kept in balance because of that competition. So let's say that in this particular jungle there's a type of poisonous frog that's causing a lot of problems for the local population of people. And they decide the only solution is they need to go in and wipe out all these frogs. So they log a huge area and they think they've done it, they've knocked everything back. But maybe what's left is various kinds of seeds and some chopped up vines and maybe a handful of frogs that had some unique genetic basis to help them survive this big catastrophe that's happened to their environment. And then suddenly that frog population has no competition because everything's been knocked back, so they're able to grow like crazy. And the local people now have a new problem with these out of control, really super tough frogs that they don't have great tools for getting rid of. I think that this is really analogous to what can happen in our guts when we take antibiotics. And I think it's really important for people to start having the conversation worldwide about when is an appropriate time to prescribe antibiotics and how are we impacting the populations in the world of organisms that might be really resistant to the tools that we're using. And what happens when we reach a point when none of our antibiotics work anymore on these super tough organisms. I hope that this analogy has been helpful and has helped you get excited to learn more about microbiology and how all these different populations, even though they're super tiny, are a really big part of our lives.